Today on the channel, we go ape with the NECA Gorilla Soldier unboxing and review.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another NECA unboxing and review. And today, we got something I've been waiting a long time for. We got the NECA Gorilla Soldier unboxing. But for all your NECA needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $99 does ship free. And of course, flat rate $7.95 shipping for anything else. Got to get a deal out there. And the Gorilla Soldier hitting Target stores right now is where I picked this one up. And I picked up 3 of these. He is an army builder after all. And I love me some Planet of the Apes. I've been a huge Planet of the Apes fan since I was a little kid. I first started watching Planet of the Apes on TBS. Shout out to TBS back in the day. That's where I first became aware of it. Waiting for WCW Saturday Night or NWA, whatever it was at the time. They would show a lot of Planet of the Apes reruns on TBS, and that's where I watched all those movies over many, many years, and then, of course, just seeing repeats on HBO or whatever it may be, all the way up to the modern-day franchise here. But something about the Planet of the Apes as a kid stole my heart and never let go, like a young Mark Summers on the couch back in the day. But loved Planet of the Apes, huge, huge fan. And you're probably saying to yourself, Kyle, they came out with these from NECA many years ago. Why didn't you get it? Well, like a lot of people, guess what? Finances. You got kids coming on the way. You're just working your way through your career. You got to dole your money out for toys, and some things make the cut, some things do not. Unfortunately, I had to admire the Planet of the Apes from afar, but now, little different circumstances in life. We've always been there, and I said, you know what? I'm getting into these NECA Planet of the Apes. I'm here for this, and this is where it begins. We do know we got other varieties to come, hopefully this month, so this might not be the only Planet of the Apes video on the channel over this month. We'll see what happens. But one thing that'll happen for sure is we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. Without further ado, there it is. Beautiful packaging art on this one. Absolutely love that poster. I used to have that poster back in the day. I've had it on a t-shirt numerous times. It's always been part of my wardrobe. Absolutely do love this. He wants us to go ape, and man, I will. He's going to make a monkey out of me, that's for sure. But looking awesome on the cover here. Love the artwork there. Go ape, Planet of the Apes, Gorilla Soldier, Ultimate action figure. Like I said, he is an army builder. Got him over here as well. And then on the back, little cross sell down below. We're going to get all of them. Hopefully they come out with some more figures in the future. Even some horses for him to ride would be pretty cool as well. We'll see what happens there. A little bit of blurb, glamour shot. Let's see what it says about Planet of the Apes. Gorilla Soldier, more brutish by nature and heavily armed, the soldiers of the Gorilla Army strictly enforce law and order in ape society and guard against threats from the Forbidden Zone. You don't want to go down there. There's some weird folks down there. Punishment comes swiftly for lawbreakers as well for any wild humans caught stealing ape crops. And of course, gorillas in the Planet of the Apes kind of viewed as the dumb ones. You know, the orangutans are so smart and all this, and the chimps are a little bit smarter, but the gorillas, just dumb brutes is basically what they're thought of here. Gorilla Soldier looking good. Packaging off to the side. See you later, goodbye. A little plastic prison action for the Gorilla Soldier. Weapons, heads. It's an army builder once again. You got to buy multiples of these. Well, I guess you don't necessarily got to buy multiples, but if you're like me, you're going to get 3 of these. I want to display one with different weapons and a different head for each one. At least that's my plan as of right now, and I should say it is because I saw these at Target. They seemingly, the Target I was at, they shipped 4 of them. I grabbed 3 of them, so I left 1. I said, I don't need that many. I don't need any twin gorillas in my army. But I will display each head to make them feel different and kind of build out that display maybe just a hair more than it would be. That's what I'm going to do there. But we got a lot of twist ties going on. They don't want these gorillas going anywhere. And I started, like I said, as a kid watching the Planet of the Apes. Of course, you see the first one. Spoiler alert. You see the Statue of Liberty at the end, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Of course, Charlton Heston involved. See you later. Goodbye off the screen. and others. A great movie, but to me, my favorite, and I believe it's the third one in the franchise, it is See You Later, Goodbye, the movie. Oh, favorite, no. It is Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. That's where they go to 1990, way in the distant future, 1990, back in like 72, I think, when it came out. See You Later, Goodbye. They went to the future of 1990, and then they showed the story of Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. There was blood, there was gore in it. It was just an amazing movie that still holds up to this day, and if I ever want to go back and watch a Planet of the Apes movie, that's exactly where I do go from. And they make 1990 out to be so bad, and we all know 1990 was one of the best years of all time, riding high after the A's World Series win at the end of course, October 89, but 1990 is all about the Ultimate Warrior. He put an end to Hulkamania once and for all. We'll never forget that. Never forget that WrestleMania. So 1990, not all that bad, but it did take, I guess it did get bad because we went south at the end of 1990 when those no-good Cincinnati Reds, Eric Davis, Chris Sabo, looking at you guys, looking specifically at you guys, just ruined the A's. Ruined me and ruined a lot of boyhood dreams and things. Don't need to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore, but if you've never seen Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, strongly recommend it, and I strongly recommend this figure. And we'll see. But let's dive into the accessories like we always do. We get one extra hand, so we got two kind of shaking hands, splayed out hands. We get a gripping hand here, so I guess this will be for the guns or any of the weapons, so don't really have a use for these two. We got so many weapons here, we're going to want to use these, and I really wish we had two gripping hands. I think that would have been key for something. Not in the cards for whatever reason. We do get two little billy clubs right here. Very, very prison-like is what this is. This looks like something like an old-timey prison guard would have. He'd be walking there down the hallways of the prison and on the bars, just kind of doing one of those kind of things. We got two of these little clubs. Got a little ring on the end of each of these. So we got a little bit of enforcement clubs. I guess those no good humans, I guess. And then we got this, and I'm not even sure what you call this. It's almost like a spear. Is this like a capture device here? You got the little rope on it. Really an interesting one. It looks like he's getting ready to go fishing. The old fishing hole with a gorilla. That sounds like a movie in the makings right there. Then we do get his backpack here, and it is strapped on. A nice leather backpack. It is not unboxable, whatever you want to call it. It is just straight up plastic on here. You got some leather straps going on. A little strap that goes around the waist if you need it to as well. Just kind of plugs over the back. You slide it in over the arms. No hole in the back of the figure to plug this in, G.I. Joe style. Just kind of is what it is for the backpack. And now we get the weapons here. And this looks like old-timey weapons if you were a kid and we're going to Frontier Town and you go there and they have all these really cheap wooden guns. They're like whittled out of wood. Like a young Paul Robeson, Old Man River. I am dating my grandpa with that reference. Does anybody even know who Paul Robeson is? And does anybody know Old Man River? And does anybody know whittling? This could be the oldest reference ever on the channel, I think. But these weapons look like whittled weapons. They look like those guns that are in like one of those frontier towns and they shoot rubber bands or something. I think you guys have seen that. You know what I'm talking about. But they look like they were made out of like a cardboard box or something. So you get kind of a machine gun type thing going on there and kind of a rifle version going here with a little strap on it. So it is, of course, like they had in the movies. So I guess you can't fault it. But boy, really, really dating myself, dating the channel, dating the world, dating everybody, dating my wife maybe. Who knows? I don't know what I'm up to. But let's dive into the head sculpts here for this soldier. Looking like a gorilla. There's no mistake in this. If somebody handed me this, I'd say, well, that's a gorilla. And that's what I'd be right. But it is, of course, when you put the body, the human-like form on it, that makes it feel like a Planet of the Apes figure here. But it is a gorilla soldier. Black hair throughout. Very stoic look on the face. Very gorilla-like in the face as well. So there's no mistaking who this is. Now we get two extra heads with this one here. Second head, I don't know what they're doing here because this one, it's basically not as ruffled in the fur department. He's a little bit more scraggly on this one. This one's a little bit nicer kept here. Maybe he's using some beard oil, some beard products, things like that. Little bit more of an open mouth, but besides that, not a ton of differences between these two. And then the third head, once again, not a ton of difference. So I really wish they would have made some of these heads a little bit more different, especially one with a full-on open mouth. I think would have been really cool. You could put him on a horse with the rifle up above his head. He could be screaming and yelling. But all three of these basically have the same facial expression. This one's got like a little side jaw thing going. You see a little bit of teeth, but barely anything. I don't know. I really feel they could have stepped up the head game on this one. That is pretty disappointing, especially when you're having an army builder. Like I said, I bought three of these. They should have been three distinct different heads. They're pretty close to be dangerous, and it almost looked like three of the exact same figures, in all honesty. So if you're on the fence for that, I could see some saying, maybe I'm not going to army build these just because of that. But the heads definitely do look like, smell like a gorilla. That's what I'm going to say there. Getting to the body here, you got that big vest over the top. You got the purple outfit, the purple shirt, purple pants, little forearm guards there, some gloved hands as well. And I'll never forget saying I was into the Planet of the Apes to my grandma's, and I've talked about it on the channel before. I had an uncle that's about 10 years older than me, so about the next generation back, more of a 70s kid. Well, what did 70s kids play with in the 70s? Well, the Mego toys between Marvel, DC, and a million other properties, including Planet of the Apes. And I was shocked to see he had Planet of the Apes figures. So as a little kid, I did go to my grandparents and I would play with my uncle's old Mego Planet of the Apes figure. So, oh, that was a good day for old young Kyle. But definitely kind of gives me the vibes, and it kind of all the memories and nostalgia come flooding back when I'm holding this in my hand about me as a kid, playing with those, mixing them in with the DC and Marvel characters too. But I do like the looks of this one. It does look like a gorilla soldier. Got the black boots on as well. Looks like what we got in the movie, so you can't really fault it too much. Got the strap over the top here, faux leather, whatever you want to call it, but it is plastic, of course. Arms going to go all the way around for us. Single jointed elbow, little side-to-side action there. Hands back and forth, side to side. Of course, hands removable, so you can adjust if you need to. Waist articulation, a little bit of movement in the abs, but nothing to write home about, especially with that coat over the top. Leg does go up. Bend at the knee, side to side, of course, at the knee. No boot cut, but you do get ankles back and forth, side to side as well. And that's pretty much it for articulation. But he is also, and I just took his hand right off, so his hands do come off fairly easy. Just plug it into the ball. Easy to go on, easy to come off, so be careful on that, I will say. Does fit on a ringside collectible stand. Let's see, use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Make sure you get the Mattel stands. And I always say, spend your money on your figures, not your stands. Head over to ringside, pick up the Mattel stands for these guys right here. But looking good for what it is. Really, my biggest gripe, biggest fault with this one is the head sculpt department. Need a little bit more emotion out of these gorillas. Come on, gorilla, give it all you can. But looking very good here. But for a comparison, I do have a Cosmic Legion figure sitting right here. You could mix this into the Cosmic Legion world. It's just another planet. It's the Planet of the Apes. So they could head over that way. So maybe if you want to, you can display him with your Mythic Legions, your Cosmic Legions. Hey, you could have him as Gorilla Monsoon's backup. You could have him as his bodyguards if you wanted to. That's another possibility if you wanted to. Choose your own adventure. We say it on the channel all the time here. But I do like these, of course, around a $40 price point, a little bit rich for a lot of people's blood. I understand that, especially if you're buying 3 of these. But it is what it is. If you've been after Planet of the Apes, if you've been like me, kind of admiring from afar for a long time, and this is your chance, you got to get in on this one. And NECA, bring us Conquest of the Planet of the Apes figures. That's what I want. I want those prison jumpsuits for the apes. That's what I want to see. Hopefully in the future. The collars as well. Let's get it all out there. Throw it all out there. I'm here for that all day long. Twice on Sunday. There it is. But this is the Gorilla Soldier from NECA. What are your guys' thoughts? Is this pick up for you? A pass? A long game? Not the no game. It can't be the no game, can it? Definitely not for me, but it could be for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. And there's a lot of content, as you guys do know. Check that out. And of course, don't forget ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. My book, The Complete Guide to the WWE Jax Class Superstars series, available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon, and now Kindle. And don't forget Sir Paul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for our Gorilla Soldier, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.